Hello YouTube, it is Chris here, and in today's episode we're going to be discussing my everyday carry for February 2019, so stick with me. Welcome back everybody, and thank you for sticking with me. Now obviously, I do not carry all this at once. It would require at least 12 more pockets on each pair of shorts I own, because I don't wear pants unless I'm going out somewhere nice. But with that said, the easiest thing to do is for us to break this section by section and just go over it and show you what I've got so far for 2019. So the first section up are what goes on my wrist, are my survival bracelets and my watches. Now for those of you who've been following my channel for quite a long time, you know that for the longest time, this was the only watch I had. It was my little $60, $70 G-Shock, and holy crap, did it do really well actually. But a gift she gave me was my G-Shock Rangeman. I love this because it has a barometer, altimeter, and a compass built in. It's atomic and tough solar, so it gives me a lot of really cool extra options when I'm out in the field doing crazy stuff in the outdoors. These are two new, more kind of EDC for the city or a night out kind of deal, but this is an automatic watch from Spinnaker. I actually like it a lot. It's really nice. I love the black silicone bands, the stainless steel bezel. It has an automatic movement, which is actually a Japanese movement from Seiko, which is really cool. And then last but not least is AVI 8. This is their Matador. And this is a really freaking awesome watch. I love actually taking this out. The green with the ivory accents on there. It's just a really cool pilot's watch. I really dig the whole concept of it. But then we move on to my survival bracelets. I love the concept of being able to have some form of backup emergency tools in a survival situation. So first up is my EDC bracelet by Super SG Straps. I've had this for God knows how long, and I love this thing. It's got a really nice compass. It has the Bison buckle with an LED lamp on it. It's got a, I believe this is like a Gen 1 version of the Firestorm buckle by Wazoo, and then it's filled with a bunch of different survival components from fishing gear, snare wires, wire saws, all that good stuff. Then if I'm just kind of feeling leather and I just want a fire starter, I've got this one from Wazoo Survival Gear. This actually comes from a company called Surf City Paracord. They do some really epic designs, they do some really custom mods, they do survival grenades, which you guys are going to be seeing on the channel here soon. And they actually have a Firestorm buckle from Wazoo. I actually broke the ceramic knife on this because I was being really rough on this the other day, and whoops. Moving forward, we have two bracelets. These are the Kodiaks by Outdoor Element. They are pretty simple in their construction. They have a random stainless steel fishhook inside. I've added some Ranger bands randomly to them, but what I like about their buckle is their fire steel is freaking legit. That is a huge fire steel as a backup fire steel. It's freaking awesome. And then they also make another one out of jute called the Woolly Mammoth. So your basically whole bracelet is emergency tender. Two go-tos that I go to a lot are my Minimalist from Wazoo Survival Gear and the Zombie bracelet with the wire saw built in. The Firestorm buckle is freaking on point. I'm a Wazoo guy for the most part, but I do appreciate other brands and other companies. Next up, we have combustion or fire. Now you see a lot of choices here, and it's because, well, I'm kind of finicky and I love fire and I love options. So having one or two options to bring with me every single day, and I kind of rotate them all out, is just comforting and nice to have. First up is a new contender, which we're going to overlay some footage of this. These are the fire plugs. All these fire plugs have been cut in half so I could have a lot more tinder inside this little bag. These come from Production Hanger 51. They are like Tinder Quicks, but on steroids. We tested these independently, a bunch of different other ones, and the Tinder Quicks were lasting 1 to 2 minutes. Still extremely good, reliable, waterproof fire starters. They don't suck. But these did the same exact thing, but averaged 4 to 6 minutes in burn time. And the fact that you can get 50 of these for 10 bucks is freaking amazing. Now, moving forward, I have this. This is actually the one I bring with me the most often. I take these on short excursions too. I've got the Spartan Fire Tinder from Go Prepare Survival on the back with all 6 strips from the old days. These are the XL ones. And then I've got some fat rope stick that I've shredded down into the Ultimate Fire Tinder. I keep that with me. That's kind of like my big kahuna. This could last me easily 2 weeks out in the woods. And then for those days where I'm going on a small excursion, I've got a little bit of the Ultimate Fire Tinder tucked away in one of those little tins. I've got mini Bics in all sorts of colors. just because it's kind of whatever floats your boat. Now, if you want to go waterproof on your lighter without spending too much extra money, I've got the Minitronic Bic lighter. I like these because you can dunk these straight into water and leave them in there and they will still work. They are not wind resistant though, and that's the downside. If you also want to go waterproof but you're a Bic guy and you want it to float and be all survivalistic like, you got the Fire Sleeve by Exotac. I'm an Exotac guy if you haven't seen. I love their stuff. Ethereum came out with the Pyrovault recently, and this is freaking sweet. So this first one actually has a True Blue Zippo insert in it. But why I like the Ethereum cases is because they have the O-ring seal. They're a little bit tougher and they're designed for more rugged use in the outdoors, but they keep your fuel from escaping, and that's what I like. That was my biggest complaint with Zippos. Now that I have these cases, I have an excuse to keep a Zippo on me almost all the time. But for those days that I want to fight Mother Nature and tell her to go F herself, I've got my super awesome flame torch that you probably won't see because of the way the lighting works, but it actually is a double torch. This is from the Z Plus 2.0, and we have pretty much the full range of the Nanostriker XLs. I like them because fire steels corrode over time. They just do. They're just a corrosive metal. It's just how it works. But having O-rings and being able to keep it weather protected when not in use is freaking amazing. This one's in titanium, this is copper, and these two are aluminum. But being able to actually take this apart and use this whenever you need it in a pinch is so freaking sweet. I love the concept behind these. They are just really, really, really reliable, really pocket friendly, and they, like I said, they just help keep your stuff from corroding. And that was a big problem that people had with fire steels over time, especially if they're in coastal regions, really humid climates. They were noticing corrosion of their fire steels. There's some people like to play fast and loose with their life, so they use spark wheels. I'm just kidding. Spark wheels work really, really well. I'm just kidding. These are the Nano Spark from Exotac. I love these. Very, very, very reliable. Very, very awesome. This one actually came from the Mini Fireboss kit from Stanford Outdoor Supply. I don't know the name of the fire steel. You'll probably find it on Amazon, but I'll go ahead and link the Mini Fireboss kit because they're like 10 to 12 bucks and you get a huge fire kit that's freaking awesome. Then this actually comes from my buddies over at Fiberlight. It is a survival whistle that has a ferro rod right here, but it also has the scraper to actually get yourself ignited really, really, really well. Then if I'm actually trekking out in the bush, my EDC fire steel of choice to keep around my neck is this one. Actually came from easyfirestarting.com, same company that makes UV pack light, the glow in the dark company. But I attached a piece of 550 fire cord and then a scraper, so I always have fire with me. Boom! We've got the knives, because that's pretty much what most of y'all come out for, are the blades, because I'm a knife nut, and if you're following my channel regularly, you're probably a knife nut too. This one came from the Monthly Knife Club a couple months ago. This is actually made by Matt Deegan. This is called the Guru S35VN titanium. It's very standard among Kaiser knives. It is actually a really nice gentleman's folder if you're looking for something to be of a utility but kind of classy. Really works. I love that kind of sand-blasted, bead-blasted finish on the titanium. Looks really, really, really sharp. Then, this is an awesome knife. I am not gonna lie. I love this knife a lot that we're about to talk about. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's the Browse blades that came last month from them, from the Monthly Knife Club. However, I can't stand the color. It's just nothing I would carry in my entire life. If this came in like an OD green, toxic green, orange, pretty much almost any other color but purple or pink, I would rock it every single day. However, my wife has a channel and she rocks everyday carry, so I'm gonna be hooking her up and blessing her with this knife because there's only 500 of them made. This one is actually called the Icon. This is so dang clean. Oh my goodness, do you see how sweet this is? This is so awesome. D2 tool steel, stainless steel liners, aluminum outer shell with a purple anodizing. Like, it's a gorgeous freaking knife. It's beautiful, but I'm not gonna get caught dead with a purple. It's just not my color. It's not my thing. It's not what I do. I like earth tones. It's just me. I will stick with like a bright yellow or even a blue if it calls for it, or toxic green, but outside of that, I can't really do that. But this is a gorgeous knife. If you want to see this knife in an EDC video with my rifle rocking it, hopefully in the next month or so, you'll see her doing that on her channel too. And oh, it's a shame because I would kill to have that Icon on my pocket all day long. Like, I really, really like that knife. This is the Cold Steel Recon 1 XL. It's for those times that you want an EDC knife, but you would pretty much feel comfortable taking into the woods, and we did. This is actually with us, one of the few pocket knives we brought with us on our 30-day survival challenge. Now, this is my Espada XHP steel, aluminum, and G10. It's super fast, super sharp. It's just sexy, and it gives me an excuse to carry a knife that was in the movies that is actually functional. Then this is the Frenzy. This is a knife that I had little respect for when I first saw it. I thought it looked ugly and stupid, but as soon as I decided to hold it and carry it, it is super quick and light in the hands. It is super functional. I freaking love this knife. I find myself, when I'm looking for an extra large knife, carrying this knife out into my day-to-day life a lot. Now, you guys have seen this in a lot of my EDC survival kits. This is the Cold Steel Pocket Bushman. For those of you who are looking for a budget beater, you want a really big knife, it's a 4.5-inch blade, CTS BD1 steel, stainless liners. It's got the ram safe lock on it, which it pulls that way and you'll see it deploy, and that will actually help you lock it up really, really, really tight. And it is able to be one-handed deployment. I've had a lot of people complain that they can't. That just means they have to get a better thumb game going, I guess. This is the CRKT Minimalist. Been around for a ton of freaking years. I like it because as small as this thing is, only being like a 2 or 3 finger grip, it's super secure in the hand. I've got the Spew, something I'll keep on my belt when I'm rocking, or I want a small neck knife. I'll just pop that off, put some paracord in there. Nice little cheap little freaking knife that you can keep on you. A nice little backup tool. Got to open packages, cut cordage. Got to, you know, take care of business. Then I've got the Desert Warrior, I believe, by Boker. It is an auto. It's freaking sweet. I actually got this from Blade Ops. This is freaking nice. Deep carry pocket clip. I love that bronze coating on the blade. It's really, really, really nice. Super secure, actually, for being an auto. It's got a double safety, so it doesn't just close on you, which is really freaking sweet. And I love, you know why I like this knife? I got it for like 30, 35 bucks. Super cheap. I got an auto for sub $40. Then this is a knife that I found kind of hidden in a corner for a long time. This is a pure 100% G10 knife made from multi-layer G10. Actually super sharp. It will actually cut paper. Thing is a beast. A Broken Skull by Steve Austin, cold steel knife, XHP flat grind, clip point. It's super slim. It's very dusty out here today. It's got that really nice texture G10, but it's a lot less aggressive than you would find on the Recon 1. And then last but not least is pretty much my grail knife on my most carried knives. This is the Dimco 8015, Dimco knives. A lot of you guys have been seeing that Cold Steel is coming out with the 8015 to 8010, which is in collaboration with Andrew and John Dimco. I've been in contact with those guys and they are fantastic. I actually had this knife with me on my 30-day challenge as well to give it some field testing and some food processing, some game skinning. It did excellent. And one thing that you probably won't see is you're probably not going to see the Cold Steel versions of the 8015 or 8010 on my channel because they're hollow grind. And I fell in love with the flat grind, and I don't think I want a beefy tank knife like that is hollow ground with that short of a blade. It's rocking the Scorpion lock. It's actually really easy to one-handed deploy and close. It's really, really nice. I'm trying to do it on camera so it's not as graceful as it should be. This was a knife that I noticed that my wife had. She has the black one of these. And I kept stealing it from her all the time because I'm like, babe, I need a knife. Hey, babe, I need a knife. It was just some stupid thing that I would run out to the mailbox. It'd be something dumb, and I just wouldn't have the knife on me because I was in the house, I was doing something, I was like, you know, I was cooking or editing videos, and I decided to say, screw this, I'm gonna go buy my own. So I got one in Coyote Brown, which is freaking awesome. Now, this is a knife that I didn't have a lot of respect for either. I wasn't sure if I was ever gonna want it, like it. I love this thing. Deep carry pocket clip, weighs less than 2 ounces. It uses the same steel that you would find in like the Leatherman Surge, Leatherman Wave. I believe that is 420 steel. It's razor freaking sharp, and if you just want the knife function, you don't feel like carrying around a big old multi-tool with you, this is an awesome way under 2 ounces to carry one. And then for those of you who are living on a budget but you want a good solid steel knife, this is awesome. It's using like Zytel handles, you got the triad lock. This is the Pro Light by Cold Steel, nice little clip point. It is hollow ground, but it's gonna be light duty, and it's rocking German 4116 stainless steel, which I think on a big knife is a dumb idea because that steel is not as, it's more like a cutlery steel, but on a light duty folder like this that's that small on a 3 1/4, 3.5 inch blade, I think it would do you just fine. Next, we've got multi-tools and wallets, because they're kind of always in my pocket. First off, we've got this one. It actually got engraved with my channel initials on it, which is Drop Forge Survival, which is really freaking awesome. Beautiful blue stitching. This wallet actually comes from Popov leather. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous custom-made wallet. Very simple bifold, but it's so clean. It's just, oh, it feels so good. I love leather. It's that warm. It's kind of like wood. Wood is a warm material, and so is leather, because it was formerly a living material, which I think is just absolutely fantastic. Is the Topsider by Off Mirror Leather. It's freaking awesome. We got the black and red, very Deadpool inspired, if you didn't notice. It's got a really awesome spot for some cash and an extra card if you want to have easy access to, like, with your ID or something when you're going out. Now, as far as technologically advanced wallets, this is probably one of my favorite. This is the Flipside wallet. It's got RFID blocking plate right here and in here. No one's going to steal your information with this wallet, but it has a bunch of different freaking compartments to store all your cards and your gear. This thing is a freaking rad beast. Then last but not least, on the True Blue leather wallets, this is a Boba Fett Star Wars custom wallet by my buddies over at McGregor Customs. They made this for me a while back. This is an awesome, super sick wallet. Now, these custom wallets don't come cheap, because he has to hand dye these, he has to draw and create all of these designs custom himself. So if you're looking for a custom wallet that this rad, whether you like anything that he can make, keep in mind these aren't going to be cheap. So these are full-on crazy customs, but oh, I'm so thankful that he actually made this for me a long time ago. This is the Lever Gear Tool Card Pro. This is probably one of the only tool cards I actually recommend and use because of the fact of the thickness and the actual steel and the hardened steel they actually use. And then they actually have the spring money clip. You can take the money clip off and keep the money clip, or you could just rock the tool card in a wallet. You have a bunch of different options with this, but this is like sub 30 bucks. It's really, really cheap, really highly recommended. Grim cards. These are some of my favorite Grim cards that I've ever actually had the chance to field test and use. We use these out in my 30-day survival challenge. If you guys remember, down on the playlist for my 30-day survival challenge, I actually made a spear out of one of these cards using some 2-liter bottle cordage. This is a freaking awesome backup tools. Grim is probably one of the most high quality ones out there. I have like 40 or 50 ready-made cards, and they all suck because I can just grab them in my hand and crumble them. As you can see, I cannot do that with these. These are so much freaking thicker. These are frog gigs, spearfishing, arrowheads. They got so many. They got zipper pull tools, dog tag necklaces, pretty much anything you can think of, they've got it available. And then last but not least, this is something that I've actually been rocking, mostly because it says Texas on there. This came from my buddies over at Outdoor Element. We met them at PrepperCon. They are super awesome dudes. This is the Fire Beaner. So not only does it give me some cordage cutting, some multi-tool capability, a carabiner, and a fire starting implement, it's kind of neat. It's a neat way to actually do a lot of few backup things without actually having to put forth a lot of effort in a minimalistic design. It's a very cool invention. Next are my EDC flashlights. I don't carry very many types because, well, not a lot of companies that I've experienced make a crap ton of awesome EDC flashlights, and the other ones that exist that I don't have on the table are in actual survival kits that are in various places throughout my house, my vehicle, and things like that. So I wasn't gonna dismantle the kits just for the video. So we've got the Friendship Titanium S1 Mini. This actually says Chris on it, which is really freaking awesome. This is the S1 Baton Mini as it stands as well, in aluminum versus titanium. And then if I'm gonna be doing anything a little more serious in the woods, or I might actually end up off trail at all times, or I will be out of the city, S2R Baton. I love this thing. It's 1,000 lumens, 18650 battery. It's probably my favorite flashlight because I actually dropped this off a 50-foot bridge about 1.5 years ago, and it's still to this day working flawlessly. And then on those days where I'm just feeling ultra minimalist, I have the original Photon X micro keychain light. This is the original. This is waterproof, has 7 different modes on it. This is not the cheap, crappy Chinese knockoff. There's a lot of these crappy ones out there. Don't be fooled. This one is actually the real deal. So for those of you wondering what I actually have on me this week, this is my rotation this week. I showed you all the new updates and all the cool new gear and all the little things that I'm going to be testing out and showcasing. Now that I've done that, I want to show you what I actually have on me this week. So This is an item that didn't get covered, but this is the tactical lip protectant from Duke Cannon. I actually got this in a battle box like 6 months ago, and I love this because this is the first chapstick that I've held on to for almost a year and haven't lost it. It's freaking awesome. It's rocking that blood orange smell. Smells really, really good. I got the minimalist bracelet that you guys saw earlier. Rocking the fire plugs. I've been doing a lot of testing with these. I love these. These are very, 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 very freaking reliable. Then I've got the Therium with my twin turbo Z Plus 2.0 inserts and the orange because for fire I want it to be high vis and I want to know where all my stuff is at all times. Then I'm rocking the flip side wallet. I've got the Skeletal by Leatherman. This is actually a modded Viking Whetstone necklace by Wazoo Survival Gear, and modded in the sense that I have a Grim Tool cordage holder with 50 feet of braided fishing line, and then I decided to add a fire steel down in here, so I actually always have kind of a multi-tool necklace, and it looks pretty freaking rad in my opinion. Then I've got my Leatherman signal. I actually got this from REI. I had to buy this myself because I have never spoken to Leatherman of any kind. I'm okay with purchasing their tools. I had this in my 30-day survival challenge as my multi-tool. Did really, really, really well. Then I've got my arranged band with my Wazoo compass clamshell holder right here. I've had this really secure, so if my digital watch ever fails, I always have a compass at the ready. Lane navigation and knowing where I'm at and orientating myself is very important. Then I've got the Nano Striker XL. And then I got my 8015 by Dimco knives. This is a ground knife. This is going to be in my pocket a lot. It's just how it is. I know some people are like, I looked up that knife. It's like $700, Chris. You're out of your dang mind. Well, the thing is I put a very high priority and a high value into my appreciation and love for the hobby of knife collecting and using knives in the outdoors. So the fact that I had to save up for a year and a half for this puppy that I've been wanting for over 2 years, I'm okay with it. But that just about does it for now for my EDC. Definitely drop it in the comments. Tell me what your favorite items that are in my current rotation, what you guys saw on the table earlier. I'd love to hear from you guys, but that just about does it for now. Hope you guys have an absolute wonderful day. I'm out.